Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, one and all, to a brand new installment of the ME Show. My name is Ali Madawi, and I feel so excited. It feels like I rehearsed this part, like I just did it not even 3 minutes ago. But let me just say, I am super excited. Get your crown on, ladies and gentlemen who support them. You're going to want to listen and hear this because you may have the next superstar in your house right now next to you. You'll understand what I'm talking about in a little bit. But I am so excited to bring before you and talk about a pageant that is taking place in June for Miss Corporate America. And I have the absolute honor and privilege to interview one of the hosting members that not only by her own admission, is a hard worker Caribbean girl who lives in Florida. And I am so excited about what she's going to be sharing with us because there are women out there who just need a little bit of bright light in front of them. And you know me, I'm an advocate of supporting women and, of course, the men who support them as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time and certainly not the last, the one and only Philomena Monker. What's going on, Rockstar?
Hey, Ali, thanks for having me. Hold on a second. I'm a rock star. Let me put on
Yes,
my
indeed.
crown.
Let's tilt it to the side. Then, first and foremost, thank you for being here with us, and I so appreciate you giving us the time to bring to the attention of this event and how amazing it's going to be. Tell us a little bit before we get into the event about yourself, and beside the accolades and your greatness and your crown, how did we get here? Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh, like you said, I'm a Caribbean girl. My parents came here and they just saw opportunity for their small family. And so they were entrepreneurs themselves. And I've watched that growing up. And 25 years of marketing, advertising, PR, the one thing I've always seen is that the women were juggling. We're juggling being a mom, we're juggling the household, and we're also nurturers. And with that, it's just a strong strength that I see in women, which leads me to Miss Corporate America Florida, which I am a newly appointed state president, which means I get to meet amazing women, not just from Florida, but throughout the country. So, Ali, it's an amazing feel good to bring community, to bring entrepreneurs, and also just looking at how we can empower women in whatever passion projects that they're working on.
I love that you said that, and I relate wholeheartedly to you. One of the perks of being on the hot seat in our show
Mhm.
is that I get the privilege to interview some of the most amazing human beings like yourself and learn from them and collaborate with them. It's just a privilege to do what we do every single day. Um, uh, why you saw that this path is aligned with your core values? I mean, you could have done so many different things as you have tried different things, but what came into this understanding that this is where I belong and this is what I'm supposed to be doing?
I'll tell you, I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in things are put in our paths because there is something there that we're to explore or learn from. And I met the founder, Anissa King, a few years ago, and she had been running the competition at that point for about 14 or 15 years. And so I can tell the passion behind it. She's getting tired running it by herself. And so being a person, as mentioned, that loves to help and loves to see people win, I thought, let me help. Let me see how I can help her. And what aligns with me is the fact that we're not only coaching women, we're giving them a platform to network. We're building community, but we're also finding nonprofits throughout the state of Florida that we can partner up with. And that in itself is just empowering because as an entrepreneur, if I can build a brand and there's someone else I can help, it's my duty to go out and help them. And so the brand itself, Miss Corporate America, the name itself spoke to me, but the mission itself is much greater than just being an entrepreneur. It's also how else can we impact women, not just in Florida, but throughout the United States and globally.
I love that, and one of the things that you've mentioned, to strengthen women, to help the community, nonprofit organizations. Those are the things that no one gets to see, because a lot of time, we see a pageant and we think, okay, it was just a beauty contest, or in this case, it's a business Miss America contest, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into the mission behind the event. The event is really just a celebration of the work that's been done throughout the year. Tell us a little bit more, if you don't mind, about some of these initiatives that the organization has been doing and the impact that it has created.
So, as a newly appointed president, for me, it's about taking what the foundations have been laid before me, but also taking it a step further. I have been networking my entire career. I love to meet people. I love to introduce people to each other. And so for us, we're looking at networking events throughout the year. We're looking at nonprofit events that we can partner up with. And so we're looking at Miss Corporate America, not just the one pageant, as people call it. We like to call it a competition, because it is about telling your story in a competitive space. And we'll talk about that in a bit. But what really makes it a world of difference is the network, the sisterhood, and then also the impact of community that we're reaching back into each and every month. We have a partner of ours called Dress for Success, that women can donate their slightly used professional wear. They can donate shoes or gift cards. And what that does is the charity, the nonprofit, will help women who are going into interviews. Again, aligning with the corporate world. And these are women who may fall into just a hard, rough spot for the moment, but we don't want to count them out. We want to make sure that they look good, they feel
Feel
good,
good.
and they can rock those interviews.
Yeah, I'm very familiar, by the way, with Dress for, the organization that
Just
you've
for
mentioned.
that.
Yeah, Dress for, yeah. We had an organization, Mission to Millions, back in 2012, and part of Mission to Millions, we've partnered up with different organizations, and one of them was that. So it's amazing to hear these initiatives. I know you're newly appointed as a president, but what are some of the amazing stories that you've seen thus far that the organization has created and kind of impacted your heart and your vision for the long term?
One of the things I talk about during our interest call meeting over Zoom, where women will raise their hand and say, Philomene, I'm interested, but tell me more about Miss Corporate America. There's a story about Mabel, and she is a past contestant. And her quote is essentially saying that she went into the competition years ago because she was not sure of herself. And what the competition did was help her feel a bit more confident, walk with her head high, look in the mirror and say she's no longer that 13-year-old shy girl who feels like she's being bullied. And so the competition is open for women between 30 and 65. And even at that age, we're still having confidence issues. We're still unsure. And sometimes we just need sisterhood, like Miss Corporate America, to help women just feel a little bit better about themselves so they could be more empowering and impactful in their communities.
I totally believe that. What I learned in my career is that trauma or
Yeah,
those resistant forces that hold us back are usually created from one moment in somebody's life,
yeah,
and to change that and give somebody hope and self confidence, as you mentioned, it also just takes one moment that you have a person or an audience or an organization like you have saying, I believe in you, that you got something to give.
let's do
And the
it.
fact that
Yeah,
you're keeping the age bracket to working age instead of, you know, the teens or the
Yeah.
tweens or it's definitely something that I appreciate and I totally respect a lot. Is this going to be your very first competition under your presidency?
It is.
Wow.
We have a whole leadership team. We have state presidents throughout the country where we're on Zoom calls, just supporting each other, making sure that the competitions we have coming up are stellar. We want to put on a great product, but we also want to make sure that our sponsors are gaining from the exposure of our competition. So, yes, it's my first one. However, this is not my first large event to host.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I've
Well,
hosted
that should be.
conversations.
I was
Oh,
gonna
go
say
ahead,
that would
Ollie.
be very, very memorable for you just to hear that it's gonna be the first one with
Sure.
the Miss Corporate America, obviously the Florida branch. But go on, you were saying?
I was saying, I've hosted events for Super Bowl. I've hosted events for Conversation Over Cocktails with Essence Music Festival down in New Orleans. So, event planning and having purple carpet events instead of red carpet, purple carpet events are not anything brand new. What's new is meeting some amazing queens whom we're going to be rocking with for all of this year and so on.
That's amazing. Well, I can't wait. I'm gonna do everything in my human power to be there with my wife to support and just do our part. Um, uh, One of the things that you just mentioned is Queens, but you put such emphasis on it. I know that from a society stance, we all just say things just to say, right? You know, boss babes and whatnot. What does that mean to you when you call a woman a queen?
I want women to feel beautiful, empowered, heard, powerful. Also, I want them to be in their femininity, if that's what you would want. And so when I call someone a queen, I want them to identify with whatever that means to them, but it means that I see you and I'm here for you. So when I'm calling someone a queen, I want them to be okay, Philomena. Thank you for that. I had a moment, or you know what? Everything's going to be okay. So the word queen is extremely powerful.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly believe it, and it means a lot to me. And the reason I'm saying this to you, when my daughter was 4+ years old, our daughter, she calls. I'm on like, yes, queen, and she'll be like, Papa, I'm Isabel. I'm not queen. I'm like, no, you are a queen.
Aw.
Same with my wife, same with my mother. I was raised by a single mom for most of my childhood.
Mhm.
So I do understand how hard it is for a woman to forget equality, but to just get equity, right? Like, give me what's mine. I don't need you to make it even. Just give me what I deserve, and
Mhm.
I'll go ahead and make something out of it. And I appreciate the fact that you are setting the stage for many queens that are out there who might not even know that they are queens. So that
Yeah.
definitely touched my heart, and I appreciate that. We're gonna take a little bit of a break. After we come back, we're gonna dive all things into the Florida Miss Corporate America competition that I cannot wait to hear all about. We're gonna talk about all the ins, the outs, and if you are a queen, you're gonna want to pay attention because I got the keys to the kingdom for you. You may say, "What if I want to participate, Ali?" Or "What if I have somebody in my life that should participate?" Listen up. We'll be right back. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is the ME Show. I am Ali Midawi, and make sure your queen is listening to this because we are looking to make her story. If you picked up on what I just said there. All right, Philomena, let's dive into the competition itself. We kind of went a little bit about what it is. I'd
Mhm.
like for us to go into what it isn't. A lot of time we think, as you corrected me in the beginning, hey, it's not just a pageant, right? There's a
Yeah.
lot of time people think it's just some light competition. Tell me what we should debunk. This isn't complete the sentence.
This is not about a bikini competition. It's definitely not about the simple aesthetic. It is not about outshining the next queen. It's a competition that allows for network. It allows for you to shine with beauty and brains. We want to see your community involvement. We want to see, who are you? What do you do? What do you bring to the world? What is your genius? And what is your impact in the communities that you're serving? So it's not about the bikini bod.
Yeah, no, it's important to understand that. Yeah, I was doing a little bit of homework and I noticed that you're focusing to celebrate, to connect, and about community. What are we celebrating?
We're celebrating women who are in their corporate world, they're entrepreneurs, they are great people. You've got to have the character of a great personality. We're celebrating women who are doing phenomenal things. We've got doctors, judges, we've got dental hygienists, we have educators. So it's every walk of life. We're celebrating women who are doing phenomenal work. Now, there are also mompreneurs. There are also women who are doing nonprofit work that we want to celebrate them. We work hard. It's time, Queen, for you to be celebrated.
Love that. What is the responsibility of the queen post the actual win? Because I know that in traditional pageants, there are certain responsibilities that come with being crowned.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's at least 24 speaking engagements that the Queen would be responsible to attend. Some of them are pageants, some of them are, let's say, speakers. Events. It may be on the newscast, it may be a radio, it may be high school, colleges. There are lots of speaking opportunities that we line up for our queens. Now, I also want to make it clear that we have different kinds of title holders. So there's the state title holder, but there's also Miss Congeniality,
Mm.
most popular voted amongst her own peers and competitors in the competition. There's best dressed. There's lots of different categories. So we're not wanting to make this as if there's only one way to win. We want
Yeah,
every woman to walk away feeling celebrated, feeling honored, and that they are walking away with more than they came into the competition with.
I love that. Does the queen get to keep the crown?
Absolutely. I'm not
Oh,
taking it
that's
back.
actually a big deal. But look, like we all, I don't care who you are, we all like a little recognition and the memory that goes with it. AKA, give me that silverware. I want to see something hanging in my, to tell my great grandchildren that I did something better than you. And no, that's great.
Absolutely. Every queen, Ali, gets her own crown. She also gets her own sash where it will list out her city or county or the location that she's representing. We also have queen ambassadors. These are ladies who don't want to compete, but they want to honor the brand and they're going out and talking to people on our behalf, meaning they're going into the schools, they're going into the government officials, they're going into meetings in the communities wearing their sash and their crown, talking about Miss Corporate America.
That's amazing, and that actually it's bigger again than just an event. This is like a whole year round thing. The event is just a celebration and a connection, kind of like what it actually said, to celebrate, to connect, and to have a community itself. Does the prior winners or the other queens, is there like an opportunity where everybody kind of stays in touch with one
Yes.
another? Or yeah, tell me more.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, a lot of our past queens, I will tap on their shoulder and say, "Hey, I'm coming to Miami." Shout out to Dr. Garcia. She is a queen from 2018, and reached out to her and said, "Hey, we're having a purple carpet event. If you're available, please come on through." And she took some gorgeous pictures. She spoke with the crowd. So, yes, all of our past contestants, all of our ambassadors, all of our past queens, they are extremely involved in Miss Corporate America.
One of the things that I love is even from the questions are catered towards business, like having a pitch that you got to present and whatnot. Give us an idea on the elements of the competition itself. What should a potential queen anticipate? I'm not trying to tell you give us the questions, but what should we anticipate for the queen if they are competing?
I have no idea what the questions are, number one.
Nice.
Number two, the judges in the judging table, I can't even be near it. I can organize the event, I can plan a pretty picnic and all the events, but the actual judging and the actual what goes on with the queens, I have no say in that. However, I do know there are three different judging criteria. One is a closed door panel interview. It's a panel of celebrity judges and different folks in the community, 5 to 7 minutes where you get to convey with confidence in professional attire who you are, what do you do, what are you passionate about, and how are you helping the community around you. The second part is essentially your pitch. This is on stage in front of everyone. You can bring a prop. It could be, business attire, or it could be, if you're in military or something. Feel free, tell your story, and you have 3 to 5 minutes. And then the last part of it is the formal wear, floor length gown. And I tell every single contestant, don't worry about purchasing a $10,000 gown. It's not about the gown. It's about how confident are you in that dress?
Yeah.
Are you walking with your head high? Can you smile at the crowd? Do you feel good? And so those three areas are essentially, if you can knock those out, I'm pretty sure the judges are going to be in your favor.
There you go. You see what I did there, ladies? I got a little bit of a sneak peek for you. Don't say Ali wasn't trying to hook you up. Wink, wink. I got you. Let's talk about, there are sponsorship opportunities. Obviously, we are looking to kind of collaborate with local potential vendors, or who is the ideal potential sponsor for this event?
We are looking at every opportunity because we have a full gamut of entrepreneur women who are part of this competition. If you are a caterer, if you have a brand, skincare, if you have a venue in Florida, transportation, hair and makeup, of course, monetary sponsors, we are looking at everything because we know that women, we're consumers. We're going
Mm.
to buy from these different brands. We know when we go somewhere, it's normally not just a one woman. She's going to bring friends, or she's going to bring family. So I'm looking at sponsorships at every sector, essentially.
I love that. Well, we'd love to help, and obviously, our audience knows we are infamous of giving and giving and giving and giving. And we talked about this offline, and we want to make it officially public. For any applicants as a contestant, this is specifically for you, ladies, applicants. I definitely would recommend that you do this as soon as you can. And the reason is just for you applying, you're going to be able to walk away, obviously, after the competition. You're going to be given a 5-night 6-day all-inclusive trip to Mexico or the Caribbean. This is not a timeshare. There is no presentation. Philomena, the Miss Corporate America organization, or our studio, no one gets paid for it. There's no commissions. This is simply a gift, an incentive, if you will, to celebrate your courage, to celebrate your greatness, to celebrate your willingness, to celebrate your resilience, to celebrate what you stand for, to inspire my daughter, to inspire my sister, to inspire my wife, to inspire my mom, right? Like the women in my life. So we are putting forward 100 of these vacations. It is a value of $3,000 as we speak right now, retail. So we're putting forward $300,000 of vacations that we're going to comp. You get to travel on your own terms, on your own time. The only thing that you got to cover is your taxes, because we are based in America. When Oprah gives a car, you still got to cover your taxes. And of course, whenever you're ready, you just cover your flight. But the lodging, the beverage, and the food for 5 nights, 6 days is fully covered for you as a congratulations of your greatness, because we believe that all the contestants are winners, but we want to make sure that we give you a little oomph to see you shine bright like a diamond. What do you think, Miss Philomena?
Absolutely. Thank you, Ali and team, for sponsoring us as our travel partner, and giving confidence to the women. One thing I hear from a lot of the contestants is they've been building their business. Some of them have been working a full-time job as well, and they're deserving of some time off. So what this competition is going to do is give them the confidence of, I am going to build my brand, I'm going to build my business, but I'm also going to take some time off. The balance is necessary, and that's part of what we also coach in our life coaching program at Miss Corporate America. So, Ali and team, thank you so very much for being a sponsor of Miss Corporate America Florida.
We love it. We love it. We love it. Let's dive, if you don't mind. I want to talk about how can a potential contestant apply. I know there's an interest call option in the website, which is fl.misscorporateamerica.com. It's right on your screen if you're watching the visual part of the interview, or you can just go ahead in the caption that is associated with this episode, and you can just click on it. Please, not while you're driving, because I know some of us listen to podcasts while we drive. Drive responsibly, my friends. But let's talk about the interest call. What can we share about that? Encourage people to apply and book an interest call. And I think there's also the ability for somebody to nominate somebody. Is that the case?
Absolutely. So there's 3 things here. You literally, if you feel confident about Miss Corporate America and you want to go for it, ladies, do not wait. We only have 100 spots available. So with that, you can go to fl.misscorporateamerica.com and click the apply button. Also, in that same website, there's a page that says interest call. I host these calls throughout the week, and you just jump on Zoom and we're talking. You tell me who you are. What do you do? What are you passionate about? What is that passion project that you want us to help you brand? And then the last question I ask is, what's a fun fact? What's a fun fact about you that, it's not supposed to be stressful. Miss Corporate America competition is supposed to be rewarding you for your hard work. Now, if you feel it's not for you, nominate a queen. There's someone in your life that you know who is doing stellar work that we need to honor. Nominate her.
I know I'm going to nominate somebody. I can tell you that much.
Yay.
Yeah, maybe 2 people. Would you advise to have a conversation with the person before nominated them?
I would. We actually have some folks on Facebook dropping the names of their friends, and the friends are like, hey, Shirley, I wasn't planning on doing this. And so I had to call Shirley or send her a little private message and say, hey, it's okay. You can go ahead and delete the post. But I would, if it's a good girlfriend of yours, ladies, nominate her. I would send her a text and say, hey, I'm nominating you for this because I think you're awesome. And I'm pretty sure she's going to look at Miss Corporate America and say, you know what? Let me take a look. And we'll just welcome her on in.
I'll tell you this, and Dr. Givens, Dr. Andrea Givens, out of Baltimore, she's a rock star entrepreneur. She's a twin sister of Andre Vaughn, and she's done amazing things, created so many organizations in Baltimore, giving back to the community, mental health, psychiatry, and anti-opioid organizations, and I'm gonna definitely nominate her, but I'll give her a heads up beforehand. But
Please
she's a
do.
fashionista, amazing heart, amazing spirit, always gives to everybody around her, and just a boss in every way possible. So he's the definition of Miss Corporate America. One last thing, now we gotta. I'm getting the signs in here. We gotta go on commercial break. We gotta pay the bills in a little bit, but one last thing. Talk to me about the February 22nd event, because I know we got to talk about June 19th
Sure.
for the competition, but you have a brunch to have a conversation with a prior queen, I believe.
Absolutely. So it's called Conversation Over Cocktails Brunch, and we're actually going to be crowning Mompreneur. And Whitney is an amazing, amazing wife and mom. We're going to be crowning her. There's going to be networking, there's going to be interviews, and lots of different conversations are going to happen in this room. So, yes, Orlando, Florida. You can also go to florida.misscorporateamerica.com and click on brunch and get you a ticket. Join us.
Let's go. Well, with that, we got so much more to talk about, but we gotta have to go and pay some bills. So stick with us. We're gonna take a little bit of a commercial break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ME Show. I am Ali Midawi, your strategic partner, and we are here with the rock star herself, Philomena Moncoeur. Philomena, we talked a lot about your background. We talked about all things with the Miss Corporate America that is taking place in June 19th in Orlando, Florida. I want to just out of curiosity, as a newly appointed president, what is your vision for the competition for the future, in whether it's near future or long term?
The biggest vision for me is to make Miss Corporate America a household name amongst women, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, women whom you're needing just that little umph. You need that sisterhood, you need the camaraderie, but you also want to up level where you're currently sitting. So, coaching, just being a well rounded community for women. So, the vision is to have touch points throughout the state of Florida. Ali, there's 21.8 million people in the state of Florida. 21 million. That's an opportunity for women here in our state to really make an impact, not for themselves personally, but professionally and also their community. So my vision is to make this a household name.
What can people do to help overall? If there are anybody who want to volunteer and who want to collaborate, whether they're men, women, to make that vision come to life, are there any opportunities for people to help?
Absolutely. We're looking for volunteers. For example, for our events coming up, they're on our website. There's a volunteer page where you could literally drop your name and phone number. We may have something in Tampa, Florida. We may have an event in Orlando or Tallahassee. So don't feel like you have to be in a certain part of Florida. We're coming to you. So make sure you put your name in the volunteer hat. Also, if you have a brand of any sort, reach out to us, sponsor us. If you have a venue, my gosh, how many restaurants are in Florida? Let's put a networking event together. Let's celebrate the moms in your community. Let's leverage what we all have to bring forward a brand that is celebrating women just across the board. So, the other thing I would implore people to do is compete. You're a lady that needs a little bit more branding, you want to be coached, or maybe you just want to come into the network just so you can feel supported. By all means, join a competition.
By all means, join the competition. I genuinely love that. Um, it's fascinating to me that you took on a role that is not a traditional job or a traditional business, right? Like there's a sense of heart that you have to have in order to do what you do. How do you sustain that? What is your routine to keep the happy side and keep the motivating side, the big sis side, if you will, going on all fronts, regardless of what you have going on in life?
You know, when I was first taking on this role, I prayed about it. I talked to my family about it. And my mother said, go for it. She didn't even hesitate. But she's also an entrepreneur, an 82-year-old
God
skunk
bless.
of life. And she told me, go for it. Um, I will say I take time. I take time for myself, my prayer. I will go, for the holidays, we went to Colombia, South America, vegged out for 11 days, ate organic food, hike and walk, and, just taking time for self so I can rebalance, so I can come back and serve as much as I can.
Well, you are doing it extremely well. Do you find yourself in a position that you may want to collaborate with any public office in Florida or organizations, whether it's state or schools, or is that something that is in the future of the organization, just to kind of develop the
Absolutely.
girls before they become ready to be queens?
Absolutely. So we're looking to talk with different counties and educators. We want to reach these young women before they go off to college, before they go off to high school. We're also looking for different cities who want us to come in and do coaching programs for the youth, or even for older women. The reason we selected the years 30 to 65 is that's just about the time where we start figuring, oh my gosh, I need to do something different. I need to do something.
Yeah,
And
it feels that way.
it does. It does. I mean, we're always going through phases of life. So we are looking for different partnerships within Florida with, government, education, nonprofit. There's nothing that we're turning down now. It's more so let's have conversations. Let's see how they align and how we can make a better impact in our communities positively.
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely making an impact by all means. There's no doubt about it. We're gonna do everything in our power. Obviously, you understand the PR world, you understand the event world, and we have a lot of alignments. Certainly, I believe in you. I believe in your mission. I've already told you offline. I'm gonna introduce you with some powerful. You talk about queens, who I know can open some doors, and you can open bigger doors for their missions as well, with what you are, already doing. We. It's fair to say, without necessarily getting into politics or anything, but it's hard to be a woman in general, but even here in the United States. And I feel that your organization is putting a lot of the missing pieces of how amazing a woman is. What is that something that you think about every now and then? And as far as being a woman is not easy. I'll tell you this, and I'll because I think it's important to have a perspective of a man who actually appreciates a woman.
Makes
Um,
a
there
difference.
was there was a singer Anita who was talking with J Balvin on camera, and she goes like, what's interesting? She's like, you could literally just put any T-shirt and any pants and sneakers and walk out there, and the ladies will throw themselves at you, and the fellas would want to be you. She's like, me, unless I have a perfect dress and a perfect makeup and perfect hair and perfect choreography and perfect sexy moves, any little 1% that's missing, I will be critiqued and criticized and being made fun of and become a meme and whatnot. And that kind of gives you a little bit of the generalities of a man can just wake up, shower, put whatever, and go to work. A woman has to present herself with certain expectations, otherwise she becomes the talk of town. So tell me a little bit about that part and how is the organization focused on rebuilding the power of a woman?
Building the power of a woman starts within, right? It starts with our mental space and where we feel we are. And so we're looking to build confidence because it doesn't take much sometimes to just have that crack and just bring you down. And now you're no longer feeling your best. Sometimes we're at a 10, sometimes we're at a 3. But having that community that you can say, hey, Queen, I'm having a tough day. Or, hey, Queen, my business is not doing so well. What do you think? How can I do better? And so, building that community of trust is important, but also a network that we know, hey, we've got resources within our Miss Corporate America that we can lend a hand to. Now, I will say, a lot of the queens, I say to them, join my Zoom. I don't care for perfection. I'm looking for your passion.
I love that. While you were answering, Rich here, my chief production officer, he turned around and he goes like, you got to address the importance of having a man that also supports that woman because,
Oh my gosh,
man,
yes.
it is such a factual thing. How many women get told by their own men, father, husband, brother, whomever, like, who do you think you are to compete? Who do you think you are to whatever it may be? What is your message to that guy?
That guy, listen, she is holding you up. She is holding you up. Now, you know what? We have naysayers, whether it's men or women.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's their own insecurities. So that's where we bring women into our space and say, hey, Queen, lift your head up. You're great. You're good. You're passionate. You have a heart of gold. How can I help support you? And the more that the women see that, the less that the naysayer's voice becomes important. Okay. And so just reinforcing women with what they innately know they're good at, which is nurturing, which is being community. Hey, let's nurture that for them. So naysayers, Queen, don't worry about them.
I love that. Yeah, and we got to nominate Tanya Tanika. She's our partner here in the studio and many other things that we do. What do you say, Rich? We are gonna, Tanya, you're gonna hear this. She listens to all of the episodes. Tanya, we just
Tanya,
officially
hey,
nominated
Queen.
you. You're going to compete. That's amazing. That's phenomenal. Well, so I know we're kind of coming down towards the end of this interview, but is there any final message and final thought, like this, the final pitch to the masses, to the ladies that should compete, to the men who should support them, to
Mhm.
the sponsors, and of course volunteers as well? What is your message to everyone to take advantage and absolutely support this event?
Listen, we're in the crown season right now. Literally, we have our state competition is coming up in March. The winner, the crown winner of that, is going to go to the national competition in
Nice.
June. So, what I would say is, first of all, ladies, if you're thinking about it, if you see this message, please, please, please go ahead and apply. There's only 100 spots. Again, there's only 100 spots. Apply now. For the men, nominate your queen. Nominate the ladies in your world. Make them feel empowered. Because guess what? A happy home is a happy man. And I'm
Yeah.
not going to say a happy wife is a happy man, but it's more so making sure that the women who are nurturing and caring for you, that she is also cared for. Let us as a community build her up and in turn build our communities up as well. And for the sponsors, hey, call me.
Well, tell them Ali sent you, because I'll definitely will connect you with a lot of individuals. Well, I'm super, super excited, privileged to have a tiny 0.0001% of support in helping this event to be successful. Tell your team if there's anything that they want us to blast or share after this episode. By all means, would love to support, would love to help, would love to share in our social media assets. Anything that is going to make my daughter proud of the fact that her father has done something to move women and put them on a pedestal. I want to participate, because she's only 4.5, but one day she's going to look me in the eye and she say, what did you do back then? How did you help back then? And I want to make sure that she knows that I did my part in every way possible, because selfishly speaking, I want her to have the best opportunities in the world as a woman, as much as I grew up in a third world country, and I've seen my mother without any, because of the fact that she was a woman. So first world country or third world country, I do understand, and I see the inequities that women, or the lack of equity that a woman does not have in many, many cases. You are able and capable. There are things that you can do better than me, 10 times better than me. Tanya, I always introduce her to everybody. I'm like, hey, if you think I'm good, she's 10 times better than me. So we want to help, we want to support, and we thank you for giving us the opportunity to partake and help you out to get this movement and get this message out there to the masses.
Thank you so very much, Ali.
Right on. Ladies and gentlemen, she goes by the name of Philomena Moncoeur, and her heart is amazing. You know why? Because Moncoeur in French, mon coeur, means my heart. So she talks to you from the heart, by the heart, and with the heart. And ladies and gentlemen, it's been an exclusive here at the ME Show. My name is Ali Midawi. I go by your strategic partner. A huge shout out and kudos to Rich Tomes, our Chief Production Officer, Claudia Maritza Midawi, our President, and of course, Tanya Tanika. We just nominated you. So I hope you are ready to make us all look amazingly good, as you always do. With that, until next time, hey, Philomena, tell them peace out, everybody.
All right, y'all. Wear your crown.